trans women being actual women, but she does not have a thing about anything else. She is very hardcore leftist. So the British I May Destroy You actor is being eyed for a fan favorite role in the eagerly anticipated fantasy series, the Harry Potter TV show. Papa Essiadu eyed to play Severus Snape in HBO's Harry Potter TV show.
Is he a good actor, though?
I find it funny. Have you ever heard of him?
No.
Exactly. So, I May Destroy You. Yeah, you might destroy this show before it's even filmed. HBO is circling British actor Papa Essiadu to play one of the hottest TV roles being cast this year. The I May Destroy You actor is up for the role of Professor Severus Snape. And this is according to the Hollywood Reporter.
Yeah, I don't know how true this is.
Well, that's the thing. The Hollywood Reporter's been pretty on point recently. In HBO's Harry Potter TV series, multiple sources tell the Hollywood Reporter sources say the actor has been offered the part, although it is not clear if negotiations have begun in earnest. Snape is the wickedly smart and casually cruel Hogwarts potions master who comes across as the story's primary antagonist in the show's first season. However, Snape is also described as hooked-nosed, like pale, sickly looking. I don't know about you.
Alan Rickman in the Harry Potter movies.
This guy doesn't look hooked-nosed, pale, or sickly. With long black greasy hair.
That's why I saw Adam Driver being the perfect Snape.
Because he's fucking ugly. Like, that's it's the truth of the matter. Like, people have said for years. He's
fucking ugly.
He is. Like, he's not conventionally attractive. He's not fucking, like, I don't know, like a or a Chris Hemsworth. Like, he's not like that. Like, chicks think that's hot. Chicks think Adam Driver's hot because he's strange looking.
True.
That's the reason.
And he had his shirt off a couple of times during the sequel movies.
Yeah, but like that's why like females find him attractive because he's strange looking. He's like I wouldn't say exotic, but like he's not conventionally attractive.
Exactly, right.
And everybody agreed, like fans included, were like, yeah, like he would be the one because everybody wants British actors to do this show. And everybody would be like, yeah, but like he could be an exception. Because he would fit the role of Snape so well. He's the right age. He looks the part. And you know he can play that type of emo-ass character because he did it for 3 movies with Kylo Ren.
And he would have a significantly better script.
Well, one would hope.
Yeah.
So this to me just reeks of like the DEI bullshit that we've been getting in all of these shows. And like, I don't know what HBO's thinking or J.K. Rowling's thinking, because if this happens, you have another like okay, here it is. I guess they want their own rings of power because if you do this, you'll be getting it. And the thing about
it's one character, but I see what you're saying.
Dude, but it is one of the most fan-beloved characters.
That's true.
People had a problem with Alan Rickman being Snape because he wasn't ugly enough.
I mean, he looked like Snape though.
Yeah, but like, it wasn't a major problem. People were like Alan Rickman's kind of too good looking to be Snape was the thing. But no one minds.
This guy's handsome looking, so he can't be Snape.
Roman, I'm sorry to say this, but he's also black. Like, that changes everything about this character. So now what? Are you going to have James Potter and Sirius Black bully the fuck out of him? For why now? Because he's a fucking black dude? Like, why are they fucking bullying him as a kid?
James and Sirius were racist as shit.
Yeah, why do they hate him so much? Because, like, I guarantee you, they ain't gonna race swap Dean Thomas or Kingsley Shacklebolt or Angelina Thompson. They ain't gonna race swap.
Bro, no one brought her up. No, bro, they're gonna make Angelina white.
Yeah, they're not gonna race swap the fucking like. There's no point to this. There's no point. And I bet you HBO's going, well, it worked with the Valarians in House of the Dragon. You know what? In a way, it made it better because it made Rhaenyra look that much more of a fucking idiot because her children were white as fuck and it showed the corruption of the throne because everybody was like, they're not even mixed kids, bro. There's no way they are Laenor's children. But we all have to act like they are Laenor's biological children, even though they have black hair and they're white as snow. Like, it was clear that Rhaenyra's children were bastards. That's what caused this entire thing. But everybody had to act like they were Laenor's kids. So, yeah.
So it serviced the plot is what you're saying, yeah.
Actually making the Valarians black made that tension a little bit better because you could tell that they were all bullshitters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this doesn't add any tension to the plot.
This does not fit that same way. At all. Like, it's such a, and you can tell almost that they're trying to get ahead of this. Like, there's almost something vindictive about it. Where they're like, okay, Snape is like 90% of everybody's favorite character. That's the one we're going to race swap. That's the first casting we're going to put out there. Notice how they haven't put out the casting for the kids? They haven't talked about the casting.
Have they found an actor for Harry yet?
No, they haven't talked about the casting for the kids. They haven't talked about a casting for Dumbledore. They haven't talked about a casting for Hagrid. They haven't talked about a casting for Lupin, Sirius, like Voldemort, any of like the other popular characters. They put out Snape first because they know that Snape is one of everybody's favorites and they know that this was going to cause some fucking shit.
Now, this could be rectified if this actor plays him well.
Hold on. In a Harry Potter
show does a good job, then, I mean...
Well, I'm sure the actor could do a fine job. But he is the farthest from Snape possible. He doesn't look like him physically.
They could have even gone with Smilo Ren, and that would have played out better.
Yes, fucking that dude would have been better. Like, this is it's such bullshit. And so far, no actors have been officially cast in the Harry Potter series, which is aiming for a 2026 debut. And I'm telling you right now, if they cast this guy as Snape, you've already failed. The show's going to be DOA. Because guess what? Black people read Harry Potter too, and they loved Snape, and they loved Alan Rickman as Snape. There was no reason. to race swap that character.
Fuck. Cillian Murphy's not going to be Voldemort? Shit. That could have been perfect.
So Mark Rylance, let's look at it. Let's look up a picture of him real quick. So I know that name, but I can't picture the face. Mark Rylance. This I could see. I give him a beard. I can see it. Share this tab instead.
Yeah, I see that.
I can see it. I can see that as Dumbledore. So
yeah, but he would have to have a longer beard though. But yeah, no, I see it. Or if he's not too busy,
being signed for the critical role of the powerful headmaster Albus Dumbledore, the show is hot enough to conjure up several actor rumors. Although the ones summoning Cillian Murphy for the role of Lord Voldemort are not correct, sources add. Shit. Yeah, well, also, Ralph Fiennes said that he would play Voldemort again.
Dude.
So let him. Let him.
You know who I could see is Dumbledore if he's not too old at at this point. Anthony Hopkins.
He's
I
too
can see
old.
that.
He's too old.
Bro, Michael Caine and Morgan Freeman are still acting. But
yeah, for an 8-season show though.
Okay, true.
Asiatu started his career at the Royal Shakespeare Company, where he played a title role in productions of Hamlet and King Lear. He's since had multiple films, Murder on the Orient Express and Men. And
he's a theater actor.
And in TV shows Gangs of London, The Lazarus Project, and Black Mirror. Episode Demon 79. He's in one episode of Black Mirror. If Asiatu lands the role, it would be an example of HBO following through on its promise that the series would have a diverse cast.
When did they say that?
But Harry Potter's fucking diverse already. Do you know
Harry Potter? I never saw them say that.
Harry Potter takes place in 1990 in the first one. You know, London wasn't nearly as diverse as it is today in 1990. Those books had actually like a higher percentage of diverse characters. You have a character named Cho Chang who's an Asian girl with an Irish accent. Like, that is more diverse. All of those characters, the Patel twins, again, Angelina Thompson, fucking Dean Thomas, Kingsley Shacklebolt. And there's another kid, I'm forgetting his name. But all of them, again, that's a higher percentage of different races than actually existed in the UK at the time, considering the main cast of characters.
Yeah.
And the films were criticized for having an entirely white core cast. Well, yeah, because they were in the books.
Most of them, yeah.
Regarding Asiatu's casting, HBO said, "We appreciate that such a high-profile series would draw a lot of rumor and speculation. As we make our way through pre-production, we will only confirm details as we finalize deals." Yeah, don't finalize that one. If you want to make money off of this show, don't finalize it. I don't care how good of an actor he is. Give him the role of Kingsley Shacklebolt. He's not going to pop up until the 5th book or 5th season, but give him that role.
Yeah, and
he looks like he could play a good Kingsley.
Yeah, just not Snape, bro. Like, Zara's not doing anything.
Here's the other funny thing. This series is described as a faithful adaptation of the beloved Harry Potter book series by author and executive producer J.K. Rowling. This series will feature a new cast to lead a new generation of fandom, full on the fantastic detail and much-loved characters Harry Potter fans have loved for over 25 years. Each season will bring Harry Potter and these incredible adventures to new audiences around the world, while the original, classic, and cherished films will remain at the core of the franchise and available to watch globally. So it will remain a faithful adaptation. Are you sure about that?
Well, she's been adding shit on Pottermore ever since the series ended. So
Yeah, but are you sure about that? A faithful adaptation of the book series, where quite literally all the fan art, not a fan art, all the official art shows these characters as white. And shows other characters as black. When Hermione, to this day, is printed on the front of a book as a white girl. Like, I'm just saying, you have characters that you're taking away from by doing this. Dean Thomas has a huge role later on in the novels. Kingsley Shacklebolt is a badass. You're taking away from these characters by doing this. And you can't say it's a faithful adaptation. And by the way, it says that it'll be a hold on, where did it say it? New cast to lead a new generation of the fandom. Yeah, you won't have a new generation of the fandom because all the people, fucking newsflash, that love your books and love your show or love your movies, love them the way they are because they were pretty close to the mark. Next to Lord of the Rings, I'd say they are probably the closest in movie to book form.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
Yes, you can have a new cast, obviously. But all of the fans of those movies and books are not going to show this to their kids. It's the same mistake that Star Wars made. They killed off the original trilogy characters in the sequels, and Star Wars is back to being a nothing series. Because parents and fans who grew up with it, like people our age, we don't go and say, oh, you guys have to see the sequels. No, everybody shows their kids the prequels in the original trilogy and maybe Clone Wars. And they read them the EU books.
Yeah,
no one's reading the High Republic.
If I get a new person into Star Wars, I'll tell them that there's not 9 movies. I'll say that there's 6, and I'll say that, like, Rogue One's a cute little, like, side film, and then boom,
bro,
you're fine after that.
I've literally had a customer call to me last week at work. I was wearing a Star Wars shirt, and he was like, "Oh, you're a Star Wars fan?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm a fan of the original stuff." He goes, "Dude, my son loves Star Wars." He goes, "But he's part of the fandom that and I went, hates the Disney shit?" And he goes, "Yeah. So you too?" And I'm like, "Yeah, fuck the Disney shit." And he was like, "Wow, there's a lot of you out there." I'm like, "Yeah, because it's terrible." Because he's like, "Yeah, my son surpassed me. He loves Star Wars more than I ever did. And he hates the Disney stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, so do I. It sucks. It's terrible." He goes, "Can you explain why?" And I gave him a brief description why. And he's like, "I get it." Because he's an old head. Like, he hasn't watched.
He probably grew up. He probably grew up with the original.
Yeah, he grew up with the original trilogy.
He probably doesn't get it.
And he brought his son to see the prequels.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was like,
that's kind of the thing, though.
That's what's
going
to happen with
new
Harry
generations
Potter,
of fans.
Like, no one's going to show their kids this fucking show if you butcher the casting before the show's even out. That's why you don't have people on YouTube in 2024, most of them, going, "We're doing it Rings of Power reaction video for the first time." No, everybody's reacting to Lord of the Rings from 1999 and 2001 to fucking, like, when it was recorded in 2001 to 2003.
Yeah, 3.
Everybody is reacting to the Lord of the Rings movies, the extended editions. No one is on there going, "We're going to react to Rings of Power," because guess what? That'll lose you fucking subs.
And there's a few brave souls even delving into The Hobbit.
Yeah.
Bless them.
But, like, I see reaction channels, and they're going, first time reacting to The Fellowship of the Ring extended edition.
The only way to go, buddy.
If you look up Lord of the Rings reaction on YouTube, you're not getting anybody that looks up Rings of Power.
Well, there are Rings of Power videos, but it's people making fun of it.
It's people pointing out the bullshit of it. And that's what's going to happen with this show. So anyway, the Hollywood Reporter continues. The series is written and executive produced by Francesca Gardiner.
JK was on this show.
Mark Millot will executive produce and direct multiple episodes of the series for HBO in association with Bronte Film and TV and Warner Bros. Television. Warner Brothers continues to be the stupidest fucking company on the planet because they have the rights to Lord of the Rings and the rights to Harry Potter, and they do fucking nothing with it. The series is executive produced by and DC, and they continuously just shit on DC. We'll see about James Gunn's Superman. The series
don't even get me started with that, bro.
By Rowling, Neil Blair, and Ruth Kenley Letts of Bronte Film and TV, David Heyman of Heyday Films.
He was on the Harry Potter movies. David Heyman was.
Yes, I know.
Well, that's fun.
So that guy could be your Snape. And I have nothing against Papa Asiadu. Like, he could play probably so many other different characters throughout this show.
I mean, he's got kind of a big nose.
Is it hooked? Alan Rickman had a hooked nose.
Yeah.
Adam Driver has a big old hooked nose.
Snape Driver as Severus Snape. So many people have made fan art. It's perfect. It's it's literally perfect.
I know.
Like, give him a beard because in the books,
I'm
Snape
telling you,
had
this is
one.
a terrible idea. It's a terrible idea.
If he
And even if it's not Adam Driver, you got to get somebody who's unknown or somebody who's just fucking weird looking. This guy is not weird looking.
I'm telling you, bro.
Alone, without him being black, he does not look like Snape's described.
I'm telling you, bro.
You're gonna give this guy long, greasy hair?
I mean, it could work. Nah.
You ever seen a black man with straight, long, greasy hair?
No.
That's what I'm telling you, dude.
Like I said, whatever the fuck dude's name is, I think Smiler Ren could honestly probably be Snape. He has that look.
Yeah, like, but his acting's not there.
True, but I'm saying
he could be a
looks it. Whereas like Adam Driver's the perfect choice.
He could be a Death Eater for sure.
Even fucking Robert Pattinson probably could have been a good Snape, but
nah.
But
maybe.
But like, nah, bro. What I'm worried about.
This is like a race thing. It's not. It's a faithful adaptation thing because you have the opportunity to do a faithful adaptation and you're not fucking doing it. And if you don't do a faithful adaptation, no one's gonna care. You're just gonna piss people off because Hollywood has this weird thing where they believe, and this is actually racist as fuck, Hollywood, that you think that black kids didn't grow up reading this. You have people in our government that say, well, black kids don't grow up knowing what a computer is in the inner city. That's racist as shit. Like, it's like, that type of stuff is so fucked to me that you feel like you have to pander to a black audience by taking certain characters and doing this. Like, that's the thing, dude. I see myself in characters that here's the other thing. You have to see yourself in fucking everything, because if you see yourself in fucking everything, then it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. No, you're not wrong. Yeah.
Like, and even so, at the same time, you do see yourself in certain characters. And you feel for certain characters. Like, I see myself in fucking Eowyn from Lord of the Rings. But I'm not a fucking woman. Like, but I'm like, yeah, like, I get it. Everybody is talking down to her. No one wants her to be a fucking badass, and she ends up being one on her own volition. Like, that's a story that most people can connect with.
Yep. Yeah.
Same thing with Frodo. Like, I'm not a fucking peace-loving little hobbit who does nothing, but I can see myself in the hero's journey. I can see myself in Harry, and I'm not an orphan.
Like I see myself in like Luke, or like.
But I'm not an orphan.
When I was in my when I was in my edgier days, I saw a little bit of Anakin within myself. Like that's kind of the thing, is that like you shouldn't see yourself in every single character, because then I think that the illusion's lost after that, because I think a lot of the time what people lose sense of is that this is fiction. We're not supposed to see ourselves in fiction. We're not supposed to.
No, you're supposed to relate with certain characters.
You can relate to certain characters, but not all. But not all of them. No.
Yeah, like you're not supposed to relate with fucking Palpatine. If you relate with Palpatine, you're a sociopath. You can love him.
Yeah, like
it's the same thing. Like, you're not supposed to relate with the bad guy.
No, or no, those like people that say Sauron was based as fuck. No, he fucking wasn't. Stop saying that shit. But like,
well, that's like a meme. But like,
yeah,
Sauron is I can't say allegory because Tolkien hated allegory, but Sauron was the encroachment of industrialism on the beauty of nature. That's what Sauron was.
Mm-hmm.
Because Tolkien hated industrialism and how it was destroying the countryside of England.
Is that why he wrote The Lord of the Rings? Because of his
it's not why he wrote it,
dissatisfaction with.
but it's part of it. That's why the Shire is the way it is, because the Shire is supposed to be like how he wishes England was in a way. And there's people out there that go like, well, the hobbits are communists. They're not. They fucking work and pay. They just live in a society that's peaceful. They're most certainly not a utopia either. And there's quotes from Tolkien explaining that.
Bro, they smoke weed and fucking party. That's fucking awesome. Like,
yeah, but they also work and
yeah, of course,
like have jobs and have like an economy and all this other stuff. Like,
but they're separate from everyone else, though.
Yeah, they just live farther than everybody else. They live away from all the bullshit of like the men and the dwarves and the elves and the orcs.
Yeah,
they're the farthest west.
Or it's like how I can not see myself, but my struggles through Gollum. Stuff that I've dealt with, because
Gollum's an addict.
Yes.
Gollum is like the ring is addiction.
Yep. Exactly. So I don't relate to Gollum. I relate to what he feels like.
And that's relate the thing, like people relate with Snape for certain ways, and people love the character of Snape because you hate him for so long, and then you find out all the reasons as to why he's doing what he did.
Exactly.
It's like fucking Itachi in Naruto. Like people, you hate Itachi. You like him as a villain, and then you find out why Itachi did what Itachi did, and you're like, holy shit, this guy is great.
Yep.
Like in Naruto, he is the Snape of Naruto.
That's one of the coolest reveals when you find out that, like, you know, Itachi's good.
I'll be back in a second.
Yeah.
Continue.
Like when you find out that, because like me, I can't speak for y'all, but like me, when I was watching through Naruto, I still thought that Itachi was a sick ass character. But then, like, when like that twist came out that he was actually good, I was like, oh my god, that's fucking genius. And I think that a lot of what the issue is that they're not really explaining, not even like explaining, but like it's just hard for people to, I think, relate to people, because for all of the how people look and like all of that stuff, like that's all fine and dandy and like wonderful and shit like that. Like personally, me, like, it's gonna happen at some point. There is gonna be a Batman who's like black, which personally would not bother me, because Batman is not like, he's always drawn as being a white person, but it's not defined that, you know, Bruce Wayne's a white person. He's just always been drawn as that. Whereas like it's like established in writing that Severus Snape has a hooked nose and greasy hair and he's a white person. Like that's what Roland's talking about. It's like I think that you can't change that because that was what was already written. Whereas like,
and people will
I don't know, like
that, like, well, Hermione was black in The Cursed Child. The Cursed Child was a fan fiction that was written by a fan and signed off to be turned into a play. And the actress that was cast in the play was the best actress for the role because everybody else who tried to get cast in that didn't do well. And she happened to be a mixed African girl.
Well,
And
it
it's
also
just like that worked better for the role, but that's a play that's not ever specifically written in the Cursed Child fan fiction that Hermione's black.
it was also
Which, by the
stupid,
way, is a
and
terrible story. Don't read it.
well, Roland has, admitted this too. It was stupid of J.K. Rowling to say that story is canon. That was so stupid of her to say. She should never have said that ever.
No, it's terrible because you're supposed to believe that sometime in between the Half-Blood Prince and the Deathly Hallows that Voldemort banged Bellatrix Lestrange.
Dude,
And that they had a
she's
child.
like super pregnant at the Battle of like Malfoy Manor. No,
Yeah.
she's fucking not.
Yes.
No.
When she
No.
throws that knife through the fucking through them apparating and it kills Dobby. Yeah, she's like 9 months pregnant. Like,
no, she's not.
Are you dead?
No. But yeah, so we have been on the downward spiral,
She's torturing fucking Hermione, like carving fucking mudblood into her arm, and Hermione's screaming. She's 9 months pregnant. Like, get the fuck out of here. And then she gives birth and puts the child in a fucking orphanage, and the child finds out about like her mother and father being.
And then her great plan is to stop Voldemort from killing Harry's parents.
To go back in time, yeah. Like,
hey, listen, JK kind of had the Kishimoto effect though going on because she had Mrs. Weasley kill fucking like Bellatrix. It should have been Neville. Why did Neville kill her? Why did Neville kill her?
Yeah.
Why was it Mrs. Weasley that fucking it was Mrs. Weasley that killed Bellatrix Lestrange? Why? That's so stupid. That's so stupid. No, but
she killed Fred.
Okay,
George loses an ear, and then Fred. Yeah, I think Bellatrix kills Fred during the Battle of the Battle of Hogwarts. I think it's Fred.
I mean, yeah, like now that you said that, this guy looks like he could be a Kingsley Shacklebolt. I see that shit.
Bro, let me look up a picture of Kingsley real quick.
Yeah.
Straight up.
You may not like him, Minister, but you cannot deny Dumbledore's got style.
Dumbledore's got style.
Yep. Yeah.
You know who else has style? Fucking Kingsley, dude.
Dude, Kingsley is definitely high as fuck constantly.
Dude, he's a G. He's a G of a character.
Yeah. Kingsley's cool, man.
In the books, he's great. He didn't get a huge role, but in the books, he's great.
Yeah.
In the movies, he doesn't get a huge role, but in the books, he's awesome. Because you're taking the longest Harry Potter book and turning it into like a 2-hour movie. Like, that's not. It's the same thing with Goblet of Fire. Like, there's so much shit left out of Goblet of Fire. There's so much shit left out of Order of the Phoenix. And, like, going on, like, yeah, Kingsley's a fucking G. And actually, no, the first time Kingsley pops up is in Prisoner of Azkaban.
Is it?
Yeah, because that's when he says Dumbledore's got style.
No, he says that in Order of the Phoenix.
Oh, it is Order of the Phoenix. You're right.
Yeah. It's when, Dumbledore escapes from Fudge and
I know
Umbridge,
when it is, I thought that had to do with Sirius. No, it doesn't. You're right.
Nah.
But
there's when Kingsley showed up before that, though.
I think he does in the books.
He's definitely in like Goblet of Fire, but those books all blend together. But like before we get off the Harry Potter topic, though, tell me if you think that I'm necessarily wrong here. You like, if I could go back in time, I would tell JK to make the final three books into like 2, because really the Half-Blood Prince does not need to be as fucking long
I don't know.
as that book is.
Half-Blood Prince is fire.
It's a good book,
It's
but
fire,
it's
dude.
unnecessarily long.
That book is so good, and somehow it's like the weakest movie.
Dude, how? How is that the weakest movie? That's like some of the most interesting shit.
The book is a banger, but the movie's probably the weakest.
Yeah.
Which is like
unfortunately
so weird. It's so weird. Like I love retroactively, like I love the Half-Blood Prince movie. But like you gotta think about it, it's mostly just walking around in the school and like talking. It's like
love
a lot
shit.
of talking, it's a lot of walking around.
And a lot of romance bullshit.
Yeah. But
yeah,
it is like probably my second favorite out of the books. I don't know. Goblet of Fire is probably my second. Half-Blood Prince is probably my third because I love Order of the Phoenix.
Order of the Phoenix is a goddamn master.
Yeah, it's a banger. It's a banger. But so, like, those three books, like 4, 5, and 6, are bangers.
Honestly, the first half of Deathly Hallows is okay, but like the second half carries it kind of hard.
Well, movie-wise, I would say that the first half of Deathly Hallows is the weakest movie, in my opinion.